Kia ora koutou and welcome to Frogs on Friday. Now usually the sun is streaming through the window on the side here, but not quite so much today, but the show goes on. So today we are going through mahimedia. Will focus on life-work balance. Yes, you heard that correctly, life-work balance, not work-life balance. We'll go through some of our hot jobs as usual. And today I'm really pleased to be joined by Lance Gilbert, who is a consultant at Student Job Search. And Lance is going to go through some of the benefits of hiring a graduate and how job seekers can promote themselves. And we'll finish off with our poll as usual. So let's start with mahimedia. Right, so we have been looking at what's important to job seekers this year, and we found that New Zealanders prefer a life-work balance. And what does that mean? So we've all heard the term work-life balance, but I think that really has switched. So now what employees are looking for is to be able to fit their work around their everyday life and other responsibilities outside of the office. And we really have seen some huge changes in the way that we work. So from our survey of over 1,000 job seekers as well as employees, we found that the top benefits that people were looking for were flexible hours and the ability to work remotely. So we're really seeing that people want both. They want the flexibility of where and when they work. And it's been a huge factor in a change in the employment market. So we found that 45% of job seekers would not consider a job that didn't offer flexible working options. So a big one for employers and businesses to take notice of. Some of the trends that we're seeing, and businesses are really working hard to be able to attract the few job seekers who are available, as well as to be able to retain the talent that they have. So one of the things that we're seeing is a real focus on making the work environment as enjoyable and give those opportunities for productivity as well. So, and your work environment can include, of course, your home office as well with all this flexible working. So we're seeing a big investment in new office space or big refurbishments. So having that, some will have more of a cafe environment. There's more emphasis on the views from the office, different breakout spaces. And I think one of the key things is looking at that balance between collaboration and the social opportunities when you do come into the office, counterpart with the ability to focus. So one of the things that people really like about working from home, apart from the 30-second commute to your computer screen, is the ability to remove yourself from distractions. Now, of course, that's not true for everyone. I know there's been some challenges over lockdowns with people with family at home and other distractions as well. But one of the key things that attract people to working from home is that ability to get away from it all and to focus on the work. Some of the benefits that we've seen coming through in line with that is things like allowances to pimp your home office. So if people do need to be in that space, to make sure they're set up to do their job well, but also so that it's a great environment as well. So I'd be really interested to hear about your experience with this shift to a life-work balance and to see whether or not your employer has kept up to pace with the changes. And if they have done so, whether you think these benefits and different working styles are here to stay. Okay, so let's go through to our hot job section. Now, usually when I go through the hot jobs, I do like to throw a bit of a curveball and turn it over to the other guests to talk about the jobs, but we won't do that with Lance today, so it's going to be all me. First up, we have the Executive Team Coordinator. This one's based in Mount Eden, Auckland, and a good salary range, good hourly rate, looking from around $40 to $45 per hour, of course, just depending on experience. And they're looking for an office all-rounder with executive support experience. This one is working with a project team, so you'll be supporting the program manager as well as the larger regional team, and they're involved in property development projects within the education space. So working with one of our government agencies. For this one, if you're interested in this role, feel free to contact me in the meantime. Kirsty will be back on Monday to be able to look after the temp roles. But for this one, feel free to give me a call or drop me an email if you need more details. Okay, then for Wellington, we have a PA role based in the Wellington CBD. This one's paying around $30 to $36 per hour, and they're looking for someone for an ASAP start, which is usually the way with our temp roles. So this is full-time work. This one is supporting 2 managers with general secretarial support, including diary management, travel coordination, and organising meetings. For this one, get in touch with Chitra from our Wellington team. Okay, and lastly, I was interested to see this one on the list. It's a recruitment consultant. It's not actually for us, but if you are interested in recruitment or have a background in sales particularly, feel free to get in touch with me. We're always looking for great people to join the team. But I better not just talk about us. Let's talk about this client. So here it's a mix of business development as well as leveraging some key accounts. So looking at a large portfolio and a chance to show off your skills in a 360 recruitment position. And this one's based in Auckland Central, and again, a range for the salary around 75 to 95K, as always, depending on experience. For this one, it says contact me, but I believe that one is Julia again. So if you get in touch with Julia for that one there, she'll be able to tell you more. Of course, you can get in touch with me, but I'll always try to sell you on the roles at Frog. Okay, and then on to our feature video.
Are you looking to work for an industry-leading company in a supply chain planning role? We have a contract running until December for a downstream planner. Paying 60 to 80K a year based on experience, this role offers hybrid working arrangements for an East Tamaki-based company. This role requires someone who has experience in decision-making roles in either procurement, purchasing, inventory, or order management. They need to have experience with SAP and intermediate to advanced Excel skills. This person needs to be familiar with handling data for a large number of SKU. To read the full position description and learn more about the technical skills required, please click the link below or contact me via phone or email for more information. Mā te wā.
Okay, so now I'm thrilled to be joined by Lance from Student Job Search, and I think it really has changed the opportunities for graduates, particularly in this market. So love to hear more about that.
Thank you for having me, Shannon. Appreciate it. Hi, everyone. If you're not already aware, Student Job Search is a government-funded job board, and we focus on helping current students and graduates find work. We've been around since the ancient 1980s, but we're always keeping things fresh and new. My role as new accounts consultant is to help grads find full-time work. And if you're not already aware, we do allow grads to remain on our books for up to 2 years after leaving university. And that's so we can support them during the transition to working life after school. Um, so the news has been telling us quite a bit lately that New Zealanders are leaving in droves as borders reopen and economic conditions tighten at home. I think we're all pretty aware of that and are certainly feeling that. The latest data from Stats NZ has found that the annual net migration was negative, with 7,300 more people leaving than entering the country. So that loss marks a very dramatic shift from the early pandemic days when border closures and the relative safety of COVID-free New Zealand prevented many from leaving. So now many New Zealanders, particularly young professionals and graduates, are heading off overseas once more. Everyone's very excited. I think it's a big wait to get passports now, so lots happening on that front. But a good percentage of those folks that want to leave are driven by the tough economic conditions and marked by high inflation. And we've all seen on the shop shelves, curiously, certain things are missing, and so little signs here and there. So this is the first time we've seen such a negative figure since the global financial crisis. Stats also said that losses were driven by young adults, with a particular increase in New Zealand citizens aged 18 to 27 leaving. So, with unemployment at 3.2%, the economists are saying that more of our workforce is going to be lost via migration and is going to create ongoing labor shortages. We've all heard about that. And government documents also estimate that 50,000 people could leave over the next year, and that number could swell to 125,000 if the young people that delayed going overseas before are now suddenly going en masse. So that's pretty. It can be pretty alarming. So you're thinking, why am I telling you all that? So I'm here to ask you to stay in New Zealand, and there are some really good reasons to stay. Some heaps of good reasons. If you're keen on traveling, if you wait a year or two, that could certainly benefit you more than leaving now. I recently did a seminar, and at the very end, lots of the graduates were asking, "How do you get overseas? What do you do to prep your CV?" And I was like, "Wow, they're all asking me how to get out of here," and I'm trying to get them to stay and look at some of the jobs that we had. Um, but rest assured that if you do remain in New Zealand as a job seeker, you're going to be in a really good position because the tables have turned on employers. So that's great news if you're looking for work. So I'm here to give you 10 reasons why employers are told they should hire new grads, and why grads that remain in New Zealand would be, have an excellent time finding jobs, and also how you can leverage what you have against what employers are seeking. So basically, this is what our employers are told are the benefits of graduates. So if you use this to emphasize during your phone screens and interviews, ultimately, you're really going to have a good chance to land that job. So number one, you are less costly. They think you're less costly, but right now only a little bit less. So the grad salaries have been driven up by the pandemic, so you're in a good position money-wise. They're also told for number two that you're highly motivated. This is of course true. You're excited about a new career. So just mention your motivation, work it in during your phone screen, and ultimately your interview. Just tell them that you're excited about the role and the organization. It kind of goes without saying, but if you emphasize that, that'll impress upon them, that you're someone that's really motivated. Number three, as a grad, you are perfect for small businesses looking to grow. Now, this is very true because you come with all the bells and whistles of new technology, understanding the internet, and once again, that very important motivation. Another thing, so number four, is that new outlooks are infectious. So graduates have new outlooks. That's infectious. Everyone learns from that. Working at the ministries, of course, they've been around a long time. You've got lots of folks that have been there, and they have certain ways of doing things. So when a new outlook arrives, people get excited about that. So certainly tell them you've got a lot to share, but don't tell them too much. They'll have to hire you to get the goods, right? You also come as a graduate with expert knowledge. So once again, recent grads are equipped with the latest know-how and expertise coming from university. You're number 6. You're fresh faced. Now, what does that mean? You've got the grad attitude. You're excited. A lot of these things do overlap, but I think the key is really enthusiasm and knowledge. Excuse me. Now, the value benefits. This is all about the perks. So those employers are going to be selling in what they have to offer. Now, Shannon mentioned work from home and the flexibility. That's going to be at the forefront. Also, free biscuits and fruit. I mean, there's all sorts of things they're going to pitch to you. But rest assured, you're going to hear about a lot of that, and just take it in. If you're going on multiple job interviews, which many graduates are, everyone is amazed. They've got lots of jobs, multiple offers at the same time. How do you handle that? That's another discussion. But just rest assured, you're going to be having all those perks coming at you. Number 8, transferable skills. This is a really big one. So make sure and remind them that you've got those transferable skills. And I would say in particular when it comes to navigating social media and just the online landscape in general. Number 9, adaptability. Of course you're adaptable, right? The pandemic has taught us all to be adaptable. But as a recent graduate, I think even more so, completing your studies during the pandemic and just changing your job search and understanding just the whole employment landscape. Number 10, you come with your contacts. Lots of employers, if they are hiring for multiple roles, or even after they hire you, they're going to ask, hey, who do you know that's looking for work? Who has this or that skill set? They don't want to pay, Seek or whoever, to put up an advert. They'd rather get that from, word of mouth. So just kind of let them know that you've got a really good network of, graduate friends that are keen on jobs. So if they have the skill set that matches, then you'd be more than happy to make that introduction. They'll certainly perk up and listen. So if you focus on all that stuff during the application process, you'll get killer offers. It's a lot of stuff that employers are aware of, but if you re-emphasize that, I think that's really going to affect them subconsciously, and they're going to think we need this graduate. And also, they'll speed up their hiring process because they're well aware that offers are coming left and right, and they can't, take their time like they did in the past. So there you go. Stay in New Zealand for your country, stay in New Zealand for you, and of course, stay in New Zealand for your career. Just want to say thanks for listening. I hope it was helpful, and also to Frog Recruitment for having me today. Cheers.
Absolutely, it's been a pleasure. Some fantastic tips there, and we've been talking all year about how this really is the best market you're ever likely to come across if you're a job seeker, and particularly for graduates as well. I will try not to take it personally that you said the 1918s was ancient. Happened to be born in 1918, but
I was 72, so I'm
back in my day, it was always that conundrum when you finished uni going, okay, I've got this degree and I want to get experience, but how am I meant to get experience when employers won't hire me because I don't have any experience? So you kind of caught in that catch-22. So I think the recent grads and those coming up have really got the best opportunity. And thank you for those excellent tips to be able to make the most of this time and the conditions.
My pleasure. Thank you, Shannon.
Okay, so let's go through to see the results from our poll from last week. Okay, so we asked, would you feel more comfortable interviewing virtually for a new job? Pretty clear result on this one. So 54% said, no, actually, I'd prefer to interview in person. So I think particularly when candidates are interviewing with us, so with a recruiter at that stage, yes, virtual is king, and it's that flexibility and convenience of jumping online and being able to get that done quickly. But when it comes to impressing an employer and also being able to hear about the benefits on offer, looks like people want to be able to do that face-to-face and to be able to get all those extra cues of being in person. Okay, so for this week, we thought we'd go on from the theme of graduates and look at as a recent graduate, have you found it challenging trying to find a role in your particular field? So again, as I was saying, often the case is you come out with a degree, but can you use that straight away or use that directly and get a role in your profession? So we'll see if that's changed from back in my day. Okay, that's it for the week. I'm actually going to be on holiday, so it's some time for me to have a bit of a break for the next, I think it's 3 weeks or so, 3 or 4 weeks. So you'll have another host, but we'll be back as usual on Fridays at 12:30. So I hope you still join in. Ngā mihi.